Hey guys, Dave from Nerdarchy, 4 nerds, by nerds, hanging out with a couple nerds.
I'm Ted.
Ryan.
And today we have a viewer request from Matt Shack over on the YouTubes, and he would like us to speak about Goatmen.
Well, before we get into that, why don't you jump down to the description below, sign up for Nerdarchy, the newsletter. It's a great way to get gaming tips delivered straight to your inbox, as well as learn how to game with us.
So, it's funny you should mention this. I recently ran a fan game, and in that fan game, I had basically created a version of Goatmen.
A fiendish version of Goatmen.
Well, no, they're not necessarily fiendish themselves, but, you know, they... the backstory is they revere Bahamut, or Baphomet, not Bahamut. Bahamut's the dragon.
The good dragon.
Yeah, Baphomet.
Baphomet, yeah.
And you know, so the idea is like they originally came about by being cultists of this demon lord, who was only semi pleased with them. You know, so he didn't grant them the gift of being a minotaur. And instead, the males are basically transformed into these goat-headed figures, and then below the knee, their knees actually articulate
the other direction.
In the other direction, and their hoof, they have the cloven hooves, and the females have like mountain ram or mountain goat heads on top of them, and this does the same thing. And you know, neither of them really wear any clothes. They go around in loincloths, and you know, they're very statuesque, and they would be very attractive if it wasn't for the fact that, you know, they had these beast parts on them.
So unless you're into that, so I mean, yeah, no judgment.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it's points for some people.
For some people, and then there's the other people who are like, there's just not enough fur.
Yeah, all right, exactly.
You know, so that went to a bad place fast.
Yes. Yeah. let's rein that in.
Okay, so originally that's how they were created. Then obviously they can procreate together, and then that'll further the beast folk as well. But then I also created this this thing they do. They have these nightly rituals where they celebrate the Horned King.
Well, is it nightly or annual or something like that? Like, I thought it was infrequent, because nightly sounds like every single night.
I think they'll do it as much as they can.
Yeah.
If they you know, pardon me, you know, they want to get their party on and celebrate their god. So, but the thing is, so they form these like drum circles and dancing circles, and what they'll do is they'll carve logs into effigies of the Horned King, Baphomet. And they'll burn them. If they have valuables, they'll drape them over the logs, and set them into the eyes if they have gems or whatever. And then, you know, the women caper and dance around the fire while the men will chant and drum. Well, if anyone happens to come upon their festivities, they're more than welcome to join. And matter of fact, there's if I think I did if 3 or more gather, there's actually a magical effect that happens that you actually have to resist joining. And you know, after so many failed saving throws, you actually will transform and become one of these children of the Horned King.
Wow.
Now I think Matt was also asking like for like a player race, but these are definitely
monsters,
chaotic evil. You know.
Stat block there says language is abyssal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I modeled that right off the Minotaur. And when I actually made the monster, I kind of moshed together the Quogoth and orcs, really. You know, they're a bit stronger than orcs, and you know, they're right around the same power level, I think, as a Quogoth. And yeah, and I just tried to make them kind of interesting. And that's also always been one of my favorite demon lords.
Yeah.
Baphomet.
You got to try to write to please Baphomet, so it's important.
It is.
Yeah. So as far as classes, if they were to have them, I would say Barbarian's pretty high up there. You know, Bard.
Yeah, I'm feeling the Barbarian and the Bard as well.
Yeah. Now, if they're animalistic, you know, are they naturally oriented? Would they be Rangers?
Druids.
Would you see them going?
Oh, so probably not for this distinct thing that you made, but if it was just a goat man, like, I think that makes sense.
Yeah, well, no, I think actually Ranger and Druid works really well for the flavor of the beast folk as well, because you know minotaurs, they're kind of hunters. They're guardians and hunters of labyrinths, and that's what these guys kind of are. They're like lesser minotaur in my mind, and that's like the kind of like I saw them, is like I'm like, so was it actually like a minor boon as far as Baphomet was concerned, or was he cursing them?
How do they feel inside about this?
Yeah. And like part of me too is thinking like, racially they still strive to be, they still want to be minotaurs. Like that's like that would be the apex of approval from their god, is being granted the gift of being a minotaur. That's his form essentially.
Right.
So I think like that's why they have these rituals and these nightly festivals, is because it's like they're trying to appeal to him to be like, hey.
I mean, maybe every
give
so
it to
often they like one of them that's deemed worthy is get promoted to a minotaur. Like maybe that could be a thing that could happen. You get a job promotion.
Yeah.
Like maybe the best like warrior amongst them or whatever, or somebody that just pleases Baphomet the most, maybe gets that.
Yeah, and then also racially, these guys will, have a racial animosity towards gnolls. Yeah, going with the lore from Baphomet and Yanagu, they don't get along very well, or at all.
It happens.
It happens,
Happens to the best of us.
But yeah, like I said, I create them. I drop them into the Maze of Mandoon, along with my animated altar.
Yeah.
Which that's a whole different video.
So if people want to get get this, they could pick up the Maze of Mandoon from the website.
They could.
They could absolutely happen. Yeah. So I mean, Beast Folk. We weighed out some options. I think that more or less covers it.
Yep, Goatman. We did that.
Yeah.
So in the comments below, you can let us know what you think. Like, share, and subscribe.
You can tweet at us at Nerdarchy.
You can also find us over on Instagram.
So until next time,
stay nerdy.